Welcome friends, LostScarf here, and it's time for the one-shot. Today we're going to play The Raven Remastered. This is The Raven Legacy of a Thief from 5 years ago, and it's been remastered. This is from King Art. They are published by Nordic, which is now THQ Nordic, and oh my god, if you didn't play it then, this is a $20 game. If you own the original, you get the remaster for free. But if you've never owned it, this is an episodic point-and-click adventure game. It's a 3-parter, and oh man, I've spent 2 hours in this game, and I'm just so in. I am so in on this. I like it a lot. I'm enjoying it a lot, and the only way to really show off a point-and-click is like the first 20 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to play the first 20 minutes of this game. I'm going to show you why I like it so much. There's such amazing characterization. There's amazing the music's just nice. It's like classic 1960s the way they put it. 1960s crime thriller. It's so good. It just does it so well. And I just need to show you. Here we go. It's such good production, such good presentation. You'll see in a minute. You'll see in a second, but I like it a lot. That's why I recommend it. That's why I'm showing it, because I'm in. And you might be in too if you play this game. If you already own the game, hey, there's a remaster you got for free. The score is so good. But okay, so what they did with the remaster is they made the animation, they made it cleaner and the game looks nicer. They just made it better in a lot of ways. And here we go.
Thrilled, Miss Penguin.
The Raven's heir. Soon as one of them's caught, another one takes his place. Hey, Harold, have you read this? Harold? Harold? Harold, you hear me? This is no time for fun and games.
Shh! Calm down. I'm a copper. We're on the same side.
A copper? What are you doing here? And where's Harold?
Harold? Well, there's another guard back there unconscious. That's probably him. The Eye of the Sphinx. Where is it?
It's there.
Oh, good. Then he hasn't got it yet.
You mean the Raven's heir?
Shh! Turn it off. He's gonna steal the eye.
But how do you know?
Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we catch him. Do you understand?
Yeah, but
Do you understand? You and me, mate. We'll be heroes. All right, now, we just have to...
what?
Halt! Stop! You're under arrest!
And here we are. There's this richness to this music and the presentation to it. It just feels... It's from a different era. An era before my birth. An era before a lot of people's births. This is like the time of... there was a movie called Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. This is like the time of Mary Poppins. This is the time of Sound of Music. Seeing those as a kid and seeing this game now, it's just such an interesting feel. And just, it's good presentation, and the music is just... There's a richness to it. Back to the story. Oh, we're not started yet. Forget what I said. Okay, so I'm 2 hours into this game, and I can't stop. But I stopped to do this one shot. But I really want to see where it's going. And I'm just enjoying it so much. Like, these are people who did the music, they're awesome. They did the music, and then they did the sound effects. Awesome stuff. In this first part, you're introduced to basically the main cast, all the main characters you're going to meet for the most part, and they feel like real characters, like there's stuff about them. The only thing this game really suffers from is the things that point and clicks suffer from. Like, there's a bit of an archaic design feel to point and clicks, and that does get felt in this game.
Hands up!
Oh, here we go.
I don't have time to play. I'm on duty.
You're funny, but you don't look like a real cop. You don't even have a revolver.
And here we go.
Why do you need the gun?
It's the Raven. He was gunned down, so now I need a pistol.
Dead birds don't need guns. Nor do live ones.
You don't know who the Raven is, do you? He's the greatest burglar ever. He stole paintings from the Louvre, and those priceless eggs with gold and diamonds and stuff. And Bobby Dobbs says he replaced the crown jewels with rhinestones.
I know who the Raven was. Although, I don't quite buy that bit about the crown jewels. You do know these days there are thieves far more dangerous than your old Raven. 2 days ago, a precious ruby was stolen from the British Museum. There was an explosion. A guard was severely injured.
Really?
Yeah. And do you know what the papers say?
You talk too much, Constable.
Zellner, monsieur. Anton Jakob Zellner.
Or did he pull a gun on you?
No, monsieur.
Get a move on.
Inspector Legrand, it's a great honor to work with a celebrity like you.
We appreciate the support of the Swiss police, but it'd be better if you'd remain seated and keep an eye on things.
But, monsieur, surely I can be of assistance, somehow. I saw a safe being loaded.
We have everything under control. If you'll excuse me, I'll be in the first freight car at the back of the train for the rest of the trip.
I'm not here to enjoy the beautiful scenery. I am a good observer, and I have finally honed powers of deduction.
Thanks to that?
I watched the people on the platform in Zurich. I know, for example, that man over there is a violinist.
That would be more impressive if there weren't a violin case next to him.
And I believe that the gentleman in the next carriage is a German doctor on his way to Italy to take up a new position.
And what gives you that idea?
There's the rod of Asclepius engraved on his cufflink. And he's carrying a German-Italian dictionary.
Maybe he's just taking a holiday in Italy, following in Goethe's footsteps.
Too much luggage. And no, he's not retiring to Italy either. The suitcases are too shabby for me to believe that he can afford to retire in his late 50s.
All right then, Constable...
Zellner.
Constable Zellner. If you're such a clever fellow, what am I doing on this train?
I think you're looking for someone.
You're just guessing. If I were looking for someone, I wouldn't spend the trip cooped up in a freight car, now would I?
Well, that would seem to indicate that you're guarding something.
And what might it be?
Could it possibly be a jewel that's making a long and perilous journey?
You're guessing. You can't possibly know what's inside the safe.
But if that were the case...
Then I'd ask you why the train wasn't crawling with police.
There are enough police on this train as it is. If there were more, they'd only get in each other's way.
I can assure you that I'd pack every seat in every carriage of this train with police, if it were a matter of deterrence.
You're saying you don't want to scare off potential thieves? Ah, you're laying a trap.
That would explain why it's just me, and not the army, n'est-ce pas? All the same, I can't comment on your speculation. Your deductive powers leave much to be desired. I think we'll get along fine without you.
You
Don't.
won't.
Won't? Pardonnez-moi.
I can help, and I will help. You are in my country, and I have been ordered to assist you. And that's exactly what I'll do, whether you like it or not.
Not so bright, but stubborn. Your commitment speaks volumes, Zelna. But this is my show, and I don't need you. Bon voyage.
But how do you know?
Ah, darn.
Oh, hello.
You cheated.
I did what?
I saw you talking to the German doctor on the platform. He told you everything himself, and you were just pretending to put two and two together.
And what of it? Do you know who that is? That's Inspector Nicholas Legrand. You have to impress him if you want to work with him.
I'm going to tell on you.
You'd really tell on me? To the very policeman who shot your dear Raven?
Whoa, it was him?
Mm-hmm. Hunted and killed Europe's most famous burglar. That's how he got his start.
I won't tell him a thing.
I wouldn't either. What's your name again?
Matthew Miller, from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania.
All right, Matthew Miller from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. I have to do my work now.
Everyone calls me Matt. Well, except for my mom. She calls me Maddie, as if I were a little kid.
Whether Legrand wants my help or not, I'll keep my eyes open. Maybe I can change his mind.
How interesting. Okay, so the first time I played this thing, I deducted way better, apparently. Because Legrand was super impressed. This time, just trying different responses, Legrand really wasn't impressed at all. Holy crap. Apparently I was really good the first time. I'm good on the tutorial. So this is your usual point and click situation. You have your character, you can move him around, and you have an inventory. And you can combine things in the inventory. That's it. So it's a very classic point and click situation here. The one thing is it might be a little too classic, because it does feel a little wooden at times when you're doing stuff like that. What I like is the game is fully voice acted, there's a lot of things to interact with, and you also have a journal, which what I like about the notebook is you get his thoughts on things. Just, it feels like someone's notebook instead of just being something for quest, which is good. Like, he actually writes out what he's thinking and what he's considering. Now, in this first chapter, you just meet everybody, and you gotta prove yourself to Legrand to prove that you're worthwhile. And there's a lot of situations here, there's a lot of things you can deal with. What I like is the way the story goes with Zellner is you could either be a guy who figures everything out and you're just a master detective kind of situation, or you bumble your way through everything. Because there are things where you can help out, like there's a couple of quests to do in this first section that you can just not do, but you'll be just worse for wear later on down the line because you don't know as much as you could have because you didn't complete those things. Another thing that's cool is you only get one shot at things. Like, you can't just come back to it later. You have to decide whether or not you want to make an attempt at something right then and there. There's no, like with Telltale's, like, do this choice or that choice. It's just that you missed an opportunity.
Very kind of you. Thanks. Oh, pardon me.
No problem. The uniform is waterproof. Mr.
Lucien. Professor Edgar Lucien.
Oh, a professor. Are you a scientist? Do you teach at the Sorbonne?
No, I work at the British Museum in London.
You don't say. So, you were, shall we say, an eyewitness to the burglary 2 days ago?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Oh, no?
Well, there was a lot of commotion, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
There was a break-in in your museum, and it didn't concern you?
Well, let's just say that nothing that's happened in the last 2,000 years concerns me.
Whatever you say. The famous Inspector Legrand is on this train. I imagine you know him.
No, should I?
You don't know him? And you also don't know what he's doing here?
No. Why should I?
Just a thought. You're a representative of the British Museum. There's a guarded safe on the train.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're trying to imply. And now, please excuse me.
May I ask where you are going?
Of course. to Venice. I'm going to meet some colleagues there.
Oh, Venice. A beautiful city, or so I'm told.
Indeed. But I really have to take my leave now.
Just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual on the train?
Here? On the train? No. I can't say that I have. Although I did spend most of the time in my compartment.
I don't want to take up any more of your valuable time, but you do understand, don't you, that what concerns me is the present, and especially the robbery at the museum.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's just... I'm in rather a hurry.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course, Constable. What's this?
What's the matter, sir?
The door. I can't open it.
Ah, we'll sort it out somehow. The compartment is locked.
But I didn't lock it. I don't even have a key. I asked the steward. He was going to bring me one, but he never came back.
Someone locked it.
Find the steward. He needs to bring me the key immediately.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back in my compartment.
All right, just wait here.
Little more on this lock.
You can easily lock the compartment door from inside by turning a little knob.
But I didn't lock it.
Professor, if you had locked the door from in there, you wouldn't be out here.
That's true.
Well, there's a cast of characters, like, you got the violinist, you got this guy, you've got Maddie, you got Maddie's mom. There's a Baroness, which will be interesting. Let's check this one out.
The little label on the door reads Baroness von Trebitz. Blue blood on the Orient Express.
This interaction's funny to me.
Yes, what is it?
Whoever that is, James, ask them whether they found my purse and then closed the door. The noise on this train is driving me crazy.
You're missing a purse. Was it stolen?
At the very least, I cannot find it, sir.
It was stolen.
When was the last time the Baroness saw her purse?
What?
In Zurich, on the platform, sir.
I just asked where you last saw your purse.
In Zurich on the platform. James, tell him that I still had it when I got out to stretch my legs.
The Baroness says...
Maybe you lost it there.
What?
The Baroness never loses anything, sir.
I never lose anything.
Very well then. I shall be on the lookout for your purse. If I might ask you a few questions about your fellow passengers.
I thought he was looking for my purse. James, tell him to look for my purse.
The Baroness wishes that you search for her purse.
But couldn't we perhaps... All right. First, the purse. I will have a look around.
Thank you, sir.
So there's a main thread of what's going on with the story that you... Like, there's a main thread you can do, but there's a bunch of side things to gain more information. I said this a bit earlier. And so the first one of the side things you can do so you can gain more information. You have to help Lucian to progress the story, for sure. There's some archaic things in that you have to basically click on everything and work with everything to sometimes progress the story.
I don't believe it. I never thought I'd ever meet you.
Pardon me, but we'd prefer... It's all right, Miss Miller. I'd like to speak to the inspector.
Unfortunately, just a constable, Lady Westmacott. I'm reading The Vicarage in the Mirror right now, for the 5th time at least.
That's nice, Constable...
Zellner. Anton Jakob Zellner.
This is my companion, Miss Miller.
A pleasure. May I ask what you're doing here? Are you on holiday?
Holiday? Yes, so to speak. The first and last holiday of my life.
Madam?
I've been writing since I was a little girl. It became my job, and now I've stopped. So, this must be a holiday.
You quit writing? Impossible. I have all of your books. Your Detective Partout is my favorite character.
Then I have bad news for you. I killed the old wretch off years ago.
I don't understand.
I'd rather not discuss my work, Constable.
Oh, well, fine.
For now, say goodbye.
As much as I'd like to keep talking, duty calls.
You were right.
Madam?
I did observe you as you came in. You seemed so eager.
It's been a long time since I've had a chance to prove myself, madam.
And this is it. Your chance.
I do hope so.
Then grab it. Even small people can make big changes, as my friend Ronald likes to say.
I shall do my best.
The thing about these games, of course, is the conversations. I'm just moving on just to show all the characters. You learn a lot from her, and that she likes to observe things, and she's useful to get a thought, or to get information on other characters, because she's made, like, criminal stories for so long. She has her own observations of things, which is pretty cool. Here's the German doctor. Like, one of the archaic problems with the game is you have to click on everything to progress the main story. It took me like 10 minutes to notice this box here, to check it out, and looking at this box progress the story. So there are archaic things like that. There is one thing that helps out, which is you can click on this, where the game will show you all the possible hotspots in a room. And so you see there was a hotspot there. You lose points for that, so it's like a score thing. But it's just a score, you don't fail the game for doing that. And really, that's really all I got to show. Just going to show this one last bit here.
I strongly suspect that the door is locked.
And then we'll be in. We'll be done.
No, it's open. Hello? Wow.
Don't move a muscle, you feathered fiend.
Put the gun down, Robert. If I may introduce Constable Robert Oliver from the Yard. And this is the revered Constable Zellner of the Swiss police, who obviously couldn't control his curiosity.
Then I was right. You really do want to lure someone into a trap.
That's none of your business.
Perhaps that someone recently struck in London.
And how would I bait my trap then?
With something inside the safe?
Someone hasn't done his homework.
Go! Yeah. If you talk to everyone before you get here, then you know that it's the other jewel, because there's two eyes of the Sphinx. One got stolen, one hasn't been stolen yet. So, if you talk to the German doctor, you learn about the other eye, and he would mention it here, and he's like, oh hey, okay, you're kind of smart.
I hope you'll acknowledge that I, as a Swiss policeman, can undertake investigations in my own country.
Are we still in Switzerland?
I could be your eyes on the train, as long as you're here in the freight car.
Oh, really?
There is a certain Professor Lucien on the train. He's an archaeologist from London.
And what's his story?
Well, it seems someone locked him out of his compartment.
Locked him out?
Well, yes. The door is locked and he's standing outside without a key.
Was it locked from inside?
It may have been. Do you think the locked door could be important?
Professor Lucien plays an important role in this story. Well then, Constable Zellner, be my eyes and ears on the train and see that Professor Lucien gets back into his compartment. Report back to me when you're through.
My pleasure, monsieur. I go attend to the door now.
Good. And, Constable Zellner?
Yes?
Don't bother us unless you have something new to report.
Of course. A thief might get anxious if there's too much activity in the freight car.
Exactement. Knock twice. Then we'll know that it's you.
Understood. An investigation on behalf of Legrand that takes me one step closer. If I can convince him of my competence, I might even be able to see this case through to the end.
That's basically the main objective. So you do a bunch of stuff in the other cars to earn Legrand's respect, at least his interest in having you stick around. And then things happen. Really, really crazy things happen. That is just, oh my god. It starts going really crazy. Once things go off the rails, they go off the rails, and it is something else. It is pretty good. But you have to just do all these things and prove yourself to Legrand, and you can prove yourself to the other characters and such. And I really like it. It's interesting playing this again, this first area, and seeing, just by picking other things and skipping some details, how you're affected by that. And I am just curious how things would be affected down the line, because I know they pay attention to that, and it's just, I really like this game. I really like it. This is a really good point and click. Not everyone's into point and clicks, but I like this a lot, and I recommend it. So there you go. That is The Raven Remastered. And it is a $20 game. I recommend it. I think it is worth your time, especially if you like a good story. Especially if you like a good crime thriller kind of story. I'm just in. And you might get in too. So there you go. That right there is the one-shot. I had fun playing it. Hope you have fun watching. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.